Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel. I am SinalyRae. I am your resident sailor, princess, goddess, warrior, king. I say what I said. Anyway, I'm here with another video, and I wanted to piggyback on the last video I made, and we were talking about cruise ships. Now, granted, I've worked for a myriad of different corporations in so many different capacities, and I wanted to just share some funnier stories, crazy nonetheless, but funnier stories because that's what I'm here for. Now we'll get back to the MSD stuff at some point because God knows that could go on forever and a day. But today, as in right here, right now, I am going to talk about another cruise ship story. Well, here you go. So on the larger cruise lines, right? Your Norwegians, your Holland Americans, Celebrity, all that. I don't even know if Celebrity still exists, but those cruise lines. If it is an American flagship, then they'll hire Americans. If they are not American flag, they're gonna only hire Americans to do like entertainment and like audio sound, things like that. Hospitality in general is hired by people who are from like Costa Rica, specifically the Philippines, and other countries because the wage that they are willing to pay them is quite livable. Whereas in America, because of our socioeconomic standings and all that other crap, they don't want to. It's not attractive to hire us for bartending or waitressing or anything like that. Anything that's in the back of the house. So keep that in mind. Anyway, with today's story, this was my first cruise line ship job in life, right? And I was on a pretty popular American flagship. I used to work for Norwegian a billion years ago, right? Anyway, it was a bunch of like those crews, let me just clear this up. Those crews are filled to the brim, meaning the employees that work these particular cruises, it's like 980 of us. That's a lot. The only other people that I know have way more crews than that is like military. Have you ever heard of a carrier? I'm just saying. Anyway, those crews, we had like 900 to 1,000 crew members to service about 2 to 3,000 passengers. Okay, keep that in mind. So on this particular ship, I think it was something wrong with the ventilation, like the ventilation system. A lot of us were getting sick bad, like we're down bad. I ended up having like 102, 103 fever often, still trying to work, young. And let me tell you something. For all my young people that are here, okay? This is some sage advice from a woman of a certain age. Take care of you first. You guys don't know my personal story. Maybe I'll open up a personal account and talk about just me because I'm pretty fucking interesting. But one thing I can tell you from a woman of a certain age standpoint is you don't have anything if you don't have you. And your body is going to find a way to get what it needs from you. I remember passing out at work on a ship. I hit the wall and slid down apparently because we were not fed on time. Like we had to be working 5 o'clock, which wouldn't be a problem except the mess hall didn't open at 6. So the servers, I was a server back then. The servers, we had servers and back waiters. I fluctuated between back waiter and you do what they tell you to put it that way. But we would be so sick, fevers, 102, 103. I should have been on bed rest. And at some point I ended up having to be because I passed out and we were not being fed properly. I didn't even mean to tell that part today, but the rumors around the ship, because you have such a big crew, there's a lot of hormones and emotions and young people and curiosity. And I remember some people just throughout the cruise, it was like, yo, if you get an STD, they're going to put you off the ship. If you get an STD, you're going to put you off the ship. And I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. But anyway, I wasn't. So when I got that 103 fever, it was because of my business. Don't worry about it. I just had a fever. I had a nasty fever. I had to get my tonsils taken out. But I had a nasty fever and I wasn't the only person. Like everybody had all sorts of elements. But I went to the doctor. And in between the fever and damn near faint, something was like, ask him the question. Ask him, is it true? Ask him if you get an STD, are they going to put you off the ship? So we're wrapping up the session because on the cruise ships, they have real doctors. They have MDs. They have nurses. They have a med bay fully stocked. Like, that's, for the crew it's free, but for the passengers, I imagine it costs an arm and a leg. But they do have those resources. You're not going to get that on a, you can get on the MSC. They don't have actual MDs or nurses. It's like Corbin. Some private, like SIU stuff, may have a nurse or two, a medic sorter, but, I've never seen an MD outside cruise ship life. Anyway, the man was sitting there finishing up my little chart. And I was like, by the way, doctor, because I'm sick, is it true that if you get an STD, that you got to get off the ship? And this man, big, heavy guy, big, massive man, super kind, but big. And he wore these big glasses. I'm not judging because I wear big glasses. I'm a bifocal kid. Do something. But he had these big glasses, and I remember them being brown. And I remember him just sitting there, and he had his pen in his hand, and he stopped writing, dropped the pen. His glasses had made it to this part of his nose, and he looked at me, and he said, if that were true, we wouldn't have a crew. And I'm like, I was real dramatic back in the day, y'all. I'm kind of still am to a degree. But I was like, and then he looks at me and he says, everything that's on shore is on here. And I mean everything. So then I'm like, oh my God, he means this or that. And he looked at me. I didn't say anything, but my face was just like, and he was like, yeah, even that. All of it. If it's out there, it's on here. We wouldn't have a crew. Do with that information what you will. He had to tell me but once. Didn't have to tell me but once. I said that to say this. Obviously take care of yourself. Sexual health is important. Health in general is important. If you are in a situation where they're not feeding you or the mess hall doesn't open, you are entitled to a break. A lot of times when you're in certain arenas, because of how fast paced and aggressive it is, I remember me and all my roommates hadn't had food in forever. And we were like, when was the last time you ate? I don't know. When was the last time you ate? I don't know. Was it open when we got to work? And the answer was no. No, it was not. It never was. So, it was never open. So we were supposed to be entitled to a break, like a 15, 20, like hurry, go scarf food down and run back, which is unhealthy. But a lot of times that wasn't even something that we would get, and we would have to like cite union rules and regulations, because sometimes on cruise ships they don't care that you don't sleep. You've worked 20 hours, it's okay. We got 4 more left in this day, and then we need you to work another 8. They will do that, and I'm not even being sarcastic when I say that. If you know what Norwalk is, norovirus, if you know, you know. Okay, if you know, you fucking know. That is like it's horrible for passengers, but it is way worse for us, for crew. So something to think about. But yeah, be careful. They used to afford condoms. Like, even let's switch back to DOD. I remember when I first started the MSC job, they had condoms at the gangway. And let me be clear, the crew numbers are nowhere near it. I went from working with 900 people to working with maybe 150. Now, other ships I have had more, obviously, but the normal MSC crew isn't going to be that big, not that many people in comparison to a cruise ship. Not at all. So you go from working with this big amount of people to this small amount of people. And I remember this girl told me, she said, look, when we're out to sea, all the men are going to be so nice to you. And I was like, I don't care. And she was like, no, hear me out. Once we go to port, though, you can always tell who went and got some ass from the local prostitution rings. And I was like, why do you say that? She said, because they get mean. She said, once they get their feel of whatever it is they were hoping to get from you, they're going to be mean to you. And I kind of wondered if she was telling the truth. So one day, the same guy who had been, we were cool. Like, I look, when I think you're cool, I just think you're cool. If I say we're friends, we are friends. It's platonic. So this one kid that I was cool with, he used to be really nice. And one day he just snapped. And I was like, why is he being a bitch to me? Like, what's that for? And it was because he had his feel. He already had or. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Back in the day, MSC used to let people come spend a night in your room on the ship. And then it went from that to you gotta get off at 10, some other little spicy things I'll tell you at some point. But that same guy, which this is not a new phenomenon, I got emails and stuff from all types of people from MSC, and it's wild. But this particular guy, he waited a couple of years, and he was like, "Yo, why you ain't never be a thing?" And I was like, "Well, never looked at you like that." And I know for a fact you've patronized prostitution. Not judging, it's your life. Do what you want to do. I said I'm not generally comfortable with men that do that, just for health reasons. And he didn't even deny it. He was like, "She wasn't a lady of the night." Well, she sure as shit wasn't a lady of the day, now was she? Charles. The dude named Charles, by the way. But yeah, always take care of yourself. In and out. I don't care what taking care of yourself looks like. It can look like, no, I don't want the overtime. It can look like, no, I don't feel like going out to the bonfire tonight, you guys. I'm gonna take it easy. Trust me, you need rest. I've done the research. Y'all don't have to do the research because I've already done it. Me and some friends were talking about how we allegedly got kicked out of some things just in life while on mission because, well, some of that stuff is not our fault. Sometimes it's who you hang around, and that's part of your health too. Don't hang around the people that's rowdy all the time. Every ship is going to be different. Every personality is obviously different. You're coming from different demographics, different lifestyles altogether. Make sure you take care of yourself, though. Food is important. Water is important. I've sailed with men who never drank water. A man had like 15 cases of Coke in his room, and that's all he drank. Period. Drink water, eat fruit. I'm telling you what I know. Your body needs to be able to decompress and regenerate. And since decompression on the ship is kind of hard because the people you work with are the same people you sleep with, and you're in the middle of a fucking ocean, and there's no getting away. You can't run to the store real quick and get anything. Now they have ship stores, but it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, it becomes mundane, and then it becomes daunting, and you just get tired of being tired. So, find ways to decompress. I got really creative. In MSC. When I started MSC, I did not know how to do any hair. Baby point me in the first direction of a salon in any country. I've gotten my hair done in several countries because I did not know how to do my own hair for a while. Like I could do some stuff, but I wasn't by no stretch of the imagination a professional. Girl, now I can do everything. I can do twists, I can do braids, I can do wigs, I can do sewing. Like, and if you're a black girl out here, if you know, you know. I learned how to do all that stuff. Only thing I knew how to do was makeup to the degree that makeup was in at that time. You know what I mean? But I was still like a beginner in that shit. So I did not know how to do a lot of stuff. Locking myself in my staterooms or staying on the ship or even waiting for assignment in the pool has taught me so much stuff. I've learned how to do so much stuff. And that has helped me filter through stuff. Also, I'm weird. I like to color. I read books. Like, I did a lot of positive stuff amidst the chaos. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just want to come on board and give you another ship story and a little bit of advice. Health is wealth, and everybody deserves to be wealthy is what that girl say on Instagram. So make sure. Oh, and on the sidebar, if you try to contact me outside of this channel, if it's not directly from my email and you just so happen to show up and you think you found a social media page that has mine, sometimes you may have found me, other times you haven't, because I've heard about some crazy stuff, some fake pages or whatever. But listen, let me tell you something. If you met me here, this is this is how you know me. I'm your friendly YouTube friend. My social media is just that. It's social. Yeah, I'll speak from time to time, but coming there asking me a bunch of questions about sailing, because that's my social media doesn't really revolve around sailing. I'm just going to refer you back here or to my email. Okay. So let's just set a boundary that we keep this stuff here. Okay. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you see this in the daytime, and a phenomenal night if this is a nighttime situation for you. I will see you next video and with a little bit more crazy. Bye. Oh, I'll just tell you later. Bye.